What is good, ladies and gentlemen? What is good, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. It's been a minute since since we've done a live stream here on my channel, man. It had to take a long break from Man United, man, meant for my mental health. But we're back, man. We're back and we're going full throttle again. Excited for everyone who's in the comments. Make sure to hit the like button, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And you know what the motto of the channel is? Stay locked in. We have another therapy session on the docket today with my brother, Brian. My guy, how are you doing?
Not depressed. As at least we win a game. You feel good. You feel happy. You feel confident that you're at least not watching a dead team. But just still come back down to earth. That there's still problems in the team, and
Yeah.
you should just take it game by game. That's what I advise everybody to do.
Yeah.
Don't try and read everything in the whole season on one game.
Mm-hmm.
But also remember that Manchester United are a huge work in progress. But the things that worked, I would like to talk about them because we talk about the negative things a lot. So I'd really like to talk about what I thought worked well, what I thought, we could see more of that maybe could allow us to win more games.
Absolutely. And I agree. This is actually one of the times where we can talk about things that aren't necessarily negative because we won. And there were some positives, man. I think a lot of the players did decent, did okay for themselves over the weekend. Still wasn't a perfect performance by any stretch of the imagination, but there was a lot of I think there was some positive to take away, specifically defensively. I think people aren't talking about that enough. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it was a good performance, man. Your guy Hoyland, man, he had himself a decent game, man. What do you think about that?
Yeah, my boy. Hoyland is a player that I've been, defending, and I've been saying we should give him time, and that he has all the tools in the bag to be a good striker for us. And this kind of performances is what um I've seen when he was at Atlanta. The ability to link play, get in behind, move, quickly with the ball, carry the ball, be strong on the ball, and also score because his finishing is actually pretty good when he gets the chances to actually shoot. So for me, there's very few strikers like that at the age of 21 that has all the things that you want. Sometimes you have a striker that's very good technically, and they don't score enough goals, or they aren't deadly in front of goal. I think with Hoyland, we have someone that can do everything, and he just needs the right coaching, the right mentoring, the right run of games. Hopefully, he doesn't get injured and loses momentum to become that player. And we need to create more chances for him. But he needs to build on this because he had criticisms last season. We can't hide from that, and it's good to hear that he's learned from. He's hearing those criticisms of maybe battling too much with the defenders, playing too much. Yes, you can play back to goal, but you don't have to be completely magnetized to your defender. Like you can peel off them. You can push forward. You can do what he did, which is a lot of really good quick touches and spawn a lot of defenders. They don't want to deal with that. The last thing a defender wants to deal with is a player that's going to be do unexpected things, and that's what Hoyland needs to do more of. So
Mhm.
if he does more of that, he's gonna feast in the Premier League. I already told people that his profile reminds me of Watkins, but I think there's even a little bit more to him in my opinion. So we'll see. I'd like to see more, but I really was really encouraged by that performance, especially in the second half and
Yeah,
bits of
yeah.
the first half.
No, I agree. Like I have been a critic of his, and I did like a lot of the things I saw. I remember there was one moment where he received the ball, did a little flick on the half turn, gave it to Garnacho, which created a chance. He has a couple moments like that where I just don't see that often enough, right?
Yeah,
And I was just happy to see it, because one, the finish for his second goal was brilliant. I gotta give credit where it's due. First of all, the flick from Bruno was fantastic, right? It was a fantastic flick, and then the composure to dink the keeper in that moment. I was like, I'm very proud. I'm proud of him because I want him to do well. Like when I criticize a player, it's
yeah.
never with the intention of, oh, I want this player to do badly. Like I want Rasmus Holland to be one of the best strikers in the league because that means we're gonna do well. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I don't want him to do badly. Am I skeptical at times? Absolutely, but I got to give credit where it's due. He had a good game. He
it's
had
a
a
good
good
sign. It's a
it,
good
it
sign when a striker can chip a goalkeeper like that in that position. For
hmm
me, it shows it shows confidence, and it shows a level of like understanding of being in the box and finishing.
Yeah,
That's what I want to see. Because a lot of the times I see strikers, they get the ball there, smash it. Not that it's not that that's a bad finish style, but it's the composure. You're going to score more goals when you do the smart thing, when you do the unexpected thing, when you ding the goalkeeper.
mm,
That's where you're going to become like Hurricane levels, Lewandowski levels. When you do those kind of different kinds of finishing, you can go power, but you can also go clean and neat and intelligent.
hmm
So he still has a lot of work to do. Like
mm,
this is Manchester United. He's always going to be judged every single game.
hmm
But I was worried last season when I heard him say he was watching Lukaku, and I'm like, I'm hoping Van Nistelrooy is talking to him and telling him, listen, you're not Lukaku, mate. Stop battling with defenders. You're not Lukaku. The kind of strength Lukaku has is a different level of strength, man.
right.
You're not Lukaku. You need to play completely differently to Lukaku. So I'm hoping that Van Nistelrooy is pointing that out to him, and he keeps learning and he keeps getting better, because like you said, if he does keep getting better, it's only good news for us because he's gonna score
Facts.
more goals.
Facts. And we'll answer this. Shout out Uthman, man. We'll answer this question. How do you feel about the Xerxes Hoyland debate? We will definitely touch on this because I have thoughts
Yeah,
on it. Right. It's Uthman said feels like fans are looking for a player to pile on while they give praise. It's very, I mean, you know how fans are, man. Especially
yeah.
when
I
you're not
think it's
doing well.
stupid.
I think it's dumb. Like we'll talk about this. I want to save this question because it's something I actually
Yeah,
wanted to touch on. But let's talk about. I guess we can talk about some of the other strikers like Garnacho. He was super duper lively. I'm gonna be real though. That fullback was giving him so much space. It was like, it was crazy. Like I'm like, this man fears Garnacho properly because it's like he would just drop back and drop. I think his name was Vanderberg
do
or
you think it's
whatever.
a tactical? Do you think it's a tactical thing whereby I think Ganacho is actually pretty good at getting separation before he gets the ball
Yeah, yeah,
to his
yeah, yeah,
defender. The problem he has is when he does get the ball, he often makes the wrong decision. But before he
yeah,
gets it, he's good at finding that space on that left hand side. But I also think tactically, because of the way Rashford was playing, he was receiving the ball centrally. I
yeah,
think that caused so many problems for Brentford
yeah,
because they didn't know what he was going to do. Because, yeah, Rashford is one of our danger men. Whether you like it or not, he has the pace, and Premier League defenders are scared of pace. The moment he picked up the ball, they are looking for where Rashford is, and he was picking it up in areas where the defenders don't want to be. They
yeah.
don't want to come track Rashford into the central areas because what's going to happen?
Right.
Rasmus has more space,
Uh-huh.
Garnacho has more space. So I thought that was a smart tweak because I was worried when I saw the lineup, like, oh man, we're going to see Rashford and Garnacho on the wings purely. But Rashford wasn't really playing like a pure right winger. He was playing more on the inside, more like not I wouldn't say number 10, but more like he was closer to Hoyland, but more so behind him. Why Bruno was really the one that was holding that width more on the right hand side. So I think we were able to suck them like into the middle, and it gives space for Ganacho
hmm
to go more 1v1. And because of the fact that the way Brentford line up with their formation, you can do that because of you can make their backline become more flat
Right.
instead of really spreading out wide because they
hmm
want to go narrow more so because they have the two up top.
hmm
So I thought we tactically we cost them a lot of issues. The question for me is with Rashford and Ganacho. I don't think every game suits them. I think this game did really well. Ganacho did really well. Second half, first half, he was a bit wasteful. Cannot talk about like his finish. We have to talk about that because that's a world class finish in my opinion.
hmm
Anytime you have someone score a volley like that, I'm going to praise it because it's so easy to put a ball like that over the bar. But he
Yeah.
took it very well. I just want him to make more right decisions. Like he's
Yeah.
finishing. It's like when he has too much time.
To think
He
it's
yeah
very
he,
similar to Rashford. It's very similar to Rashford in that like they're instinct players. They're both just like if they have time to think, they're probably going to make a mistake. But when you don't
yeah.
give them time to, when you don't give them time, right, to, and they just have to make a quick decision, like things like that happen. Like Garnacho, listen, I still don't think he's necessarily a starting level player for us, but he just has this weird, uncanny ability. He has like that.
His goals catalog
His
is the
goal catalog
most
is
is
sick.
so
It's
crazy as a
crazy. Like
United fan.
it's actually crazy. Like he doesn't score a lot of goals. He's not a prolific goal scorer by any means, but like the fact that he just can do things like this. Even Rashford, listen, I give Rashford a lot of stick. I give him a lot of stick, but he just has this weird ability to just pop up with something every once in a while. Now that has died off, like it doesn't happen as consistently anymore. But he does
Mhm.
have that. He does have that ability. I got to give him credit. Shout out to Sunshine. Big up my United fam. Happy we got the 3 points. We have so much work to do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Rashford was playing right striker, Dallo wing back, Leach third center back in the second half. Yeah. I hear all of that. No, and I mean, look at the position that where Rashford was when he made the assist to Garnacho. He was kind of on in that inside, that right half space, right? And
Is
then
there where we can pull up like the average positions for us last yesterday?
yeah, I can pull that up absolutely. Um, but yeah, no, talk about I guess Marcus Rashford and what you thought about his performance as I do that.
Yeah, I think Marcus isn't the player that people think he is. He isn't that he's not a touchline winger, number one. So I don't think he's gonna do well in that position. Even if he's on the best of form, I wouldn't want to play Marcus as a touchline winger. Now, having Marcus Rashford closer to goal with his ball striking, maybe closer to a striker, another striker, with him having less, like he worked hard, don't get me wrong, he did work hard off the ball more yesterday. But on the wings, it's different. Like in the wings, if you are out of position even a little bit, you are going to cost your team. So for me, the way he was positioned, more closer to the strike on that right hand side, with Bruno kind of maybe doing a lot of the work for him off the ball. Bruno had a more understated game. I think which is, in my opinion, I don't have a problem with that. If you can come up with brilliant moments like that, keep it simple, that's
Mm-hmm.
fine. But when the problem is when Bruno is getting all these touches and he's making bad passes,
Yeah.
he's trying to be the hero. We don't need that. Just play a smart, intelligent system, and you can come up with moments like that because it will present himself for you. Like that's flick to Rasmus
Right.
again. That's what needs to happen. That's what he can do. You don't need to force it. That's
Exactly.
when you can pull those things off. There was no situation where it's like, yeah, let's force this play here. And I think in the first half, I think for the first 15 minutes or so, we were doing that where we're falling into old habits. After that, I think we cleaned things up. I saw moments where Dalot would pick up the ball in midfield, slow things down, and Casemiro pick up the ball in midfield. Ericsson pick up the ball in midfield. They would slow things down.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to Ericsson and Casemiro because we worry for them because of the lack of legs in midfield,
Right.
but their experience there is showing. I still think we'll get undone when we play more physical and combative teams that are better than us in midfield.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're playing against Brentford at Old Trafford, yeah, Casemiro and Ericsson can dictate the game and help us to win pretty easily.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah,
And I mean, if you look at his heat map here, you see like that he's really in that half space. Like
yeah,
the biggest place he's occupying is in that half space, right? Like right in this area. You
that
know what I mean?
pocket,
Like in that
yep.
pocket. And that's probably where he's most effective. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, shout out to Uthman. He's technical and physical, base is low, but his goal catalogs now. Yeah, that's the Garnacho comment. How do you assess this front three? Great
The front
question.
three it can always get better. If I'm being honest, I think that's a conversation for the transfer window and for Ineos on what they want to do. It can always get better because we need more.
Yeah,
But in terms of how we set up, that's what is important. How
right,
do we set up these players so when you do bring in a better player, the performance levels goes from 5 to 10.
right.
You're not gonna get those performance levels if you don't have a structure, if we don't have a system, if you don't have a way of playing, and that's down on Ten Hag.
Mhm.
How can you create that system so when someone else comes in, we're not gonna start playing a different way totally? I
Mhm.
don't want in the next game now when we're playing against Fenerbahce, Rashford is back on the left wing.
Mhm. Mhm.
What is the point of that? Like I don't understand that. Like I get it, but then I don't get it. Like we've discovered this new situation. Why don't we get better in the system? Rashford gets more comfortable in the system.
Right.
Hoyland gets more comfortable. Garnacho gets more comfortable. If you want to bring in Ahmad, in which in my opinion would be Bruno's position, why don't we do that? Why don't we do that? Why change everything around again and we lose chemistry, we lose confidence, we lose team dynamics.
Mhm.
Let's not do that. I want to going up against Jose, let's play our way. I believe Casemiro and Ericsson will start and Ugarte can come in again, let's ease him into the team against tired legs and you can see what he can bring. and have Marcus play in that position again, because I think it's quite a disruptive situation. Now, if in the game they are figuring it out, then you can switch things up.
Hmm.
Like, that's what Pep does. But you don't then just start off a new game, we play a totally different system.
Yeah.
That's not what I want to see.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't see a long-term future for this front three. I will just I have to tell my truth. I don't see a long-term I don't see a long-term future for this front three. Were they lively against Brentford? Yes. I think a lot of that had to do with Brentford and their lack. They just didn't come to play, in my opinion. Like they really like the first half, the first 15, 20 minutes, they dominated possession, right? Did well. But after like that 25, 30-minute mark, they really didn't do anything. Like, I mean, outside of the goal, obviously, outside of the goal. But um, I just don't see this front three as a Premier League, a top four level Premier, like a top four strike force. I don't see that
What
personally.
do you think about the system, though? Like, I agree the quality levels can go, but what do you
Yeah,
think about
I think
the
obviously,
system deployed
yeah,
as it is?
yeah. I think this. I mean, the system obviously plays a big factor in why they maybe like over like from let's just say last year going into this year, it hasn't been great.
Yeah.
Um, I just don't think the quality level is high enough. Personally, me, I think that if in the right system, maybe they can do a bit better, right? Maybe the finishing improves, or whatever the case may be. But I'm not a big believer in that front three. I think that it needs a big quality boost. Like a lot of people talk about, oh, obviously we need more midfielders.
Yeah.
Some people will talk about our defense. I think we don't. I don't honestly. I'm not worried about our defense one bit. I'll be completely honest with you. That's the least of my concern. You
Slight
know.
worry. I have a
Yeah, I
slight. I
mean,
have a few concerns, but I get what you mean, that the attack and the
in
midfield.
comparison, I'm about to say in comparison to what needs to be fixed up front and in the midfield. And again, obviously, this game was we played decent. We played decent to good, right?
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. I just think there's a quality discrepancy here. But let's get in the comments real quick. What's up? Shout out Luke Craftman. What's up, guys? Think he plays Ahmad in the 10, Anthony right wing, rest Garnacho. All right. Oh, yeah, we'll talk. Listen, Fenerbahce match preview. I'm probably gonna do that tomorrow or Wednesday. So make sure to be on the lookout for that. We'll talk about all of that. My biggest worry is Ten Hag clearly wanted Mullen from Dortmund, and if he survives this season, he won't survive this season. There's just
The
no way.
man's a cockroach, bro.
Yeah,
Man's
bro.
a
There's just,
cockroach.
there's just no way he's surviving this season, man. Ahmad has to play. Rashford for me is the best left winger we have. Just keep him there. He did look good on the right though. I don't know.
This
I
right.
don't know.
I wouldn't say it was a pure right winger, but this call for Rashford playing on the right is something I've talked about before.
I think
On
he's the
Twitter.
same. I think Mark
I think it simplifies his game.
Facts.
And that's why with Garnacho too, sometimes when you see him on the right side of the game, he looks a little bit more effective, because both of them, if you see the best left wingers, and even Arsenal are struggling with this with Martinelli on the left wing, and that's why Chelsea maybe went and goes and signed Jadon Sancho. The left side of attack now is dominated by players, the best players who can create, right? That's really, most teams attack down there on the left, if I'm being honest with you. Um, even Liverpool to an extent might want a different left winger. I don't know. They signed the
Chiesa.
Chiesa, and he hasn't featured this season. I don't know if he's injured. But at the end of the day, he plays on the right. So they want something else on the left. I think that's where they're going to make that big purchase. But when it comes to Manchester United, we have the same problem, where we have this really direct left winger. We have this really direct left winger with Rashford, and we have this really direct left winger with Garnacho. And I think it doesn't serve us with the way we want to play. Because when we have both of them that direct, they're not creative as much. Now on the right side, when Garnacho plays on the right side, he can cross into the box. It's an easier game. You see with Rashford too, that cross he put in for Garnacho, that was fantastic. We see more of that. But on the left side, I think we need someone that can create, and we need someone that can dribble, and we need someone that can score as well, which is not an easy thing to find in terms of left wingers.
Yeah.
So ultimately, we need an upgrade in that position, and that, I mean, that's down to Ineos' own ambition. Because if they're still looking at oh yeah, we can get the best out of Garnacho and we can get the best out of Rashford, then we're not gonna win anything, guys.
No,
We
no,
need the best of what we can get
yeah,
on
no,
that left hand side.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I'm just, and that's the thing is like, it's not even. I don't think Garnacho's a bad player. I don't think. I mean, sometimes I think Marcus is a bad player. I'll be real, but like, I don't think that they're just a quality. You know what I mean? Like, just a
Yeah,
quality.
yeah. There's that upper echelon of
There's
quality
an
where
upper
people
option.
just
Yeah, there's an upper
yeah.
echelon of quality. I'm just looking around the league, and it's just like I don't see. I don't. Is Garnacho better than Anthony Gordon? Like, is he? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just thinking about like seriously. Like, people might like it. I don't think. I think it's the same. Or Anthony. Like, I think it's about the same. I think it's about the same. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing is like the fact that we're thinking about this is the evidence that we need a left winger.
Greeks thinks Gordon is like the best thing since sliced bread.
No, I mean,
So I
I'm not even saying Anthony Gordon is some wonder player. I just think he's a
no,
good player.
it's a
He's a
good
good
this
player. I
Premier
just don't
League
think,
winger.
yeah, is Garnacho like a top 10 winger in the league? I don't think so.
To be honest, the wingers in the league are not that good though.
No, I know.
They're not many that are good. And I don't know. We talked about this before, where the left wing attacking quality is
It's
pretty
pretty
poor.
bad. Yeah, no.
You know. So United need to get creative. United need to get creative and sign maybe two more attackers that
Hmm.
will take this attack to the next level.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking that we need to do. Two
Absolutely.
more. I know
Hmm.
people have been talking about the Southampton guy Diblin. I haven't really watched enough of him. I know he cooked Dalot if you when we
Few
played him.
weeks back, yeah.
But man, I want something more, man. I don't want another player that's like a project. We
Yeah,
need to bring him in.
I want somebody who's proven, like properly
Yeah.
proven. And the thing is, like, we're just not creative enough in the market. Like, I think we need to like look into like that free agent market. You know, like really like get in terms of just the front line. Like, I remember Marcus Thuram was available on a free a couple of years ago. I was like, bro, go get him. Just go get him. He's just a pro. Like, we just need more proper pros.
Ada Güler would be
Oh yeah,
amazing.
Arda Güler is amazing.
Oh
Amazing.
my God.
He's amazing, but Madrid are not going to let him go. Trust and believe.
He
They're gonna
Well,
groom him.
it depends though. It depends because I don't know what their formation they're gonna try and play. I don't know if they how often has he played this season?
Not a
Really,
lot. Not a lot. I mean,
he's not gonna take that very long. If I'm being
yeah,
honest with you, you
yeah,
know.
mm,
So we'll see. But if we were targeting someone to play on that right hand side that was creative, phew,
yeah. Arda
because
Güler is fantastic.
this is why I get frustrated when I'm like, Ten Hag, okay, you have something that's working, let's not change it. Like that Bruno position now, where he's almost kind of like tucked in on that right hand side, you put Goulet there, right? Then you put Cunha on our left wing or a Cavestelia on our left wing. Are you kidding me? That upgrade is insane. Like that is crazy creative upgrade. And
Hmm.
what like come on, that is next level ball retention, creativity, skills, flair. Like that'll be amazing.
Yeah,
That is what I want Ineos to do. Not
absolutely.
no offense to I think it's Tyler Dibling,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but come on,
No, I'm good off
Ineos need
that.
to be smarter.
I'm good off that. I'm good off that. Will you guys take Nico Williams and does he play right wing? I mean, yeah, I take Nico. He's a good player. He's a good player. I definitely take him. We can loan him and try to buy. Madrid would not do that. Like Odegaard route Arsenal took, loan and buy. No, I hear it, but I'm telling you right now, they would not loan one of their prime products to Manchester United. They're not doing that, especially in
Who?
the state that we're in. Arda Güler, I think that's what he's talking about.
Oh,
They would never do that. They're going to send him
no.
where they feel like he can actually do well and
You,
develop. Like,
no, we don't. We just need to buy him, but he'd be very expensive.
no, he'd be extremely expensive.
They'd probably selling to us for maybe 75, 80
70,
million
75, yeah,
euros.
because
So he won't be
they
cheap.
only bought him for like 20 something.
20.
Like, it's crazy when you think about it. It's crazy when you
Yeah,
think about it.
yeah, that's
Or the
crazy.
last place they should look at Cunha when Ranić mentioned him. Guler would make movies in this league absolutely worse. It's such an opportunity. Another player who would cost us about 100 million.
Another million euros, man. That will not
Yeah,
be
it's
cheap.
not happening. Need to sniff around Rodrigo and Guler. I think they're probably more open to selling Guler. He has no future there. We'll see, man. We'll see. He definitely has a future there if he just sticks it out because I think
Can you
his
Sorry,
quality.
I was gonna say, can you click the players' average positions? I just want to say
Yeah,
something.
see if I can pull it up. It's gonna pop up. There we go.
There we go.
Yep.
So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. No, this literally
That
this.
makes a
All
lot of
right.
sense.
Marcus Rashford in this inside channel here.
Huh, that's
Rasmus
interesting.
Hojlund.
So Bruno was a lot. That's why he was a lot deeper. He was a
Mm-hmm.
lot deeper than everyone else on that
Yeah.
left hand side. Really
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting.
interesting.
It's actually very interesting. I just, I just hope this is something that we can build on. I have a fear that my fear is that I don't trust this team, unfortunately. But speaking of Bruno, how do you think Bruno did, man?
Yeah, I think he played more as an 8. That
Yeah.
was he was restricted a little bit more in what he was doing and was a lot more disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he just roamed about as an 8 and he had a more controlled, measured performance. I don't think he was fantastic. I don't think he did anything amazing outside of the assist to Rasmus. But I'd rather get that kind of performance than Bruno than what he's been doing.
Yeah.
And Ericsson, listen, that the pass to Bruno, like our midfielders playing like midfielders. God, that's what we want to see. Like we don't want to see our midfielders playing like attackers. We have attackers. Let Bruno, Ericsson, Casemiro play closer together, tighter together. That's what you want your midfield to be. So his performance was okay, but like it was nothing. But I prefer this than what we've seen in the last few weeks.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think he kept it simple. Didn't like it's sad that we have to say this, but it's like he was just kind of out the way for the most part. Like he didn't do anything crazy, which is a good thing. Like that was the key. Bruno's picking up from ball with the back line, which is rare. Another thought I had about this game is like I'm so glad that hopefully this Thomas Frank the Man United shit is over for good. Like that was my big, like one of my biggest takeaways is like, please stop talking about Thomas Frank to Manchester United, bro. Like, please stop talking about it. I'm sorry. I do not want Thomas Frank at Manchester United.
It's not good enough.
No, bro. And bro, shout out Saeed. We had this debate last week, I think, bro. I'm like, Saeed, like this guy's not even better. Like, compare him and David Moyes. Like, when David Moyes was in the same position as Thomas Frank, like in the same.
I watched that. I saw you guys arguing. I was I was cracking up.
Thomas Frank was when David Moyes was a young up and coming manager like Thomas Frank, he did way better. He did way better. Think about it. He did. Like you can be like David Moyes is an old like he's not a sexy name anymore. He doesn't have that luster because he doesn't. He's been through it. He's failed obviously, and people have seen him fail. So when managers like the older you get, the less stardust you have, right? You know what I mean? And people just kind of just treat you as whatever. Thomas Frank is whatever. He's done good for Brentford, but I've seen many managers in those positions do better than him. Like when Eddie Howe was at Bournemouth, way better. Like I'm sorry, it was just better. You know what I mean? A David Moyes type. You know what I mean? A Maresca type. Like, I don't see what
he's the wrong manager for us right now. Completely the wrong manager and the wrong quality level as well. So I was never he never crossed my mind as someone that we should even look at.
Never.
So this match, I didn't need this game to tell me that. Even if he beat us 3-0, like no, he still wouldn't be someone I would look at.
Absolutely not.
So Ineos should be looking at a lot higher in terms of quality than that. And the funny enough, the two probably highest quality options play 3 at the back. I don't know if they will go for them because of that, because both, I think Alonso is not going to change. Maybe if he goes to Real Madrid, he might change. And Amorim is obviously my number 1 pick. But Sebastian Hoeneß, who has been linked quite heavily in the last few weeks. Even Nagelsmann is another one that's been linked, saying after the World Cup that he might be open to joining Manchester United. I could see why he might want that. But I would look at it like we need to get to that point. When City's new owners came in and they hired a couple of managers and they worked their team up to hiring someone that could then Pep that takes them to the next level. We could do that with Nagelsmann, where we're like, okay, this is what we're doing with Ten Hag right now, but then we let him go. And then after the World Cup, Our whole aim is that we're creating this team that Nagelsmann can come into and win us the Premier League.
Hmm.
I can see that. I can see that being a plan that Ineos might want to invite. Now the question is, who would they want to be? Would they keep Ten Hag for that whole length of time, or would they bring in someone else that might be able to bridge that gap between this is not our league winning manager, but he's going to develop the squad
Yeah,
for the next
I
guy?
have no issue with that. I think people need to understand like this is like we need to get back to like a base level of like just stability. We're just so unstable right now. We don't know what's happening game to game. We need a manager like, okay, we know this, we know we're gonna get this out of this manager. This is what we're gonna do, this is how we're gonna
Yeah,
play. Like from game to game, it's just different. Like this game, this Brentford game is different than the Barnsley game, is different than the Spurs game, is different. Like every game is just we don't know what we're getting. We don't know what we're getting. So,
yeah,
I don't mind having a manager who's a stopgap for maybe a year or two, gets us up to a certain level, and then we move on. Like this happens all the time. This
yeah.
happens all the time. I have no issues. Uh, what are Amarim's strength, Elite Pundit? Does he score a lot of goals because they always look spotty in Europe? Yeah, talk to him, Brian.
I don't think they look that spotty in Europe, to be honest. I think this season they look decent. They don't get beat pretty badly. I don't know the last time I've seen Sports in Lisbon get beat by 2 or more goals. So they're pretty strong. Do they concede chances? Yes. But they're creative. They score a lot of goals, especially you might not rate the Portuguese league, but when they batter a team, they batter a team. They score a lot of goals. You see 5-0s, you see 6-1s. I would say their biggest weaknesses is just probably when they play a team that can match them in terms of energy, right? Because the three at the back system they play tends to actually, funny enough, be kind of open sometimes. So you will see that he's not people think he's maybe the defensive coach, but he's not. He's not a defensive coach. I think he's pretty well rounded. And he's a great communicator. So I think his weakness, if anything, is just experience. I don't think he's still a young guy. He's still a really young coach. So
Mm-hmm.
coming to the Premier League, it's just gonna be experience because his system is good. There's like every system has weaknesses. There's always going to be something, but it's just experience of handling situations.
Yeah,
So that's why I really want to watch him in the Champions League this season and
right.
see how he deals with different level of coaches, playing low blocks, playing teams that press high consistently, that have more quality than he does.
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff is what's going to tell me, okay, this guy can handle coming into the Premier League, especially with the way the Champions League is this season, the style. It's a more of a league format. I
Mm-hmm.
think it would give us a better indication of what he is as a coach if he comes into the Premier League. So
Yeah,
I
maybe
would say, judge him more based on the Champions League. I think what he's done in the Portuguese league though is very impressive.
absolutely. Maybe I should do a sporting watch along tomorrow. Amarim watch along.
Who are they playing? I'm
They're
not very
playing
sure.
some no-name team, Sturm Graz.
Okay, so
Sturm Graz, which
that
is
might not
like
be the best
and
game to watch,
yeah, I might have said I don't know if I want
but
to watch that one. Like whenever they play a big team, I definitely
yeah,
want to tap in. Like I definitely want to tap into that. This is
yeah,
this is my
definitely. I would say watch them, watch them. I think
Mhm,
they play quite interesting and they attack more centrally than most things, and they want to link play, and
mhm,
they want to like play tight knit football where they get shooting opportunities for Gregoras.
mhm.
So they play interesting. They play quite a dynamic style of play. I don't think it's when I watch them, I don't see a team that plays dead football at
Mhm.
all. They're not just fluking wins, guys.
Right,
I
right.
think he's plays quite attractive style of play,
Mhm.
and he plays 3-4-3 for those
Yeah.
that don't know. And he has his attacking the two more wider attacking players quite close to the striker because they want to link to each
Mhm,
other and create
mhm.
shooting opportunities. So it's dynamic. I don't know if there's a particular name for it, but it's just a fluid style of play. It's fluid.
Yeah. And
So
listen,
yeah,
like people think threat the back and think pragmatic. And like that's not the case.
yeah, it's not. It's not.
Like a formation doesn't determine pragmatism or not. Like there's people who play in a 4-3-3 and it's pragmatic as hell. There's people who play in a 3-4-3 and it's very progressive. That's all that you know what I mean. So it just depends on the manager. Michael Boyd says, ask yourself though, why would any top manager want to come to Carrington? We've had multiple managers deny us. There's a reason. I think I disagree with this
Uh,
wholeheartedly.
yeah,
I think there's so many managers. The idea of being the manager to bring Manchester United back is you will be idolized forever. Like that is at the end of the day much more appealing than staying at a Sporting or staying at a Stuttgart or staying at a you know, these top jobs don't come available all the time. They just don't. Like
No, they don't.
you can
No.
like I mean, yeah, a Thomas Tuchel can pass up Manchester United because he'll probably get another big job, and he did. He got England, right? Great for him. You know what I mean? But the likes of an Amorim or Nagelsmann, who's been at that pinnacle, and now he's at Germany or
Is he,
whatever the case may be. Like, bro, these are
is he an United fan, Nagelsmann?
I'm
Because
not.
he's talked about us a few times,
Yeah, I'm not
and
sure. I'm not sure to be fair, but I know he has talked about us before. Even Thomas Tuchel has talked about us very highly. I remember there was
yeah.
one time he was talking about, oh, Old Trafford is blah 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 blah, my favorite place, all this stuff. I'm paraphrasing, but trust me, bro, the allure is still there. Don't be fooled by our current status. Like do not be fooled. We are still a top club. Don't let it fool you. Like our positioning, yes, we're in what are we in 10th, 11th place in the league? Yeah, that's not great.
Only
But
3 points behind Chelsea that are flying this season.
I know, right?
So
So
I'm being shameless, guys.
listen,
I'm being
that's
super
what it is.
shameless.
And listen, it's okay to be shameless sometimes, man. That's okay. The next team for Frank should be West Ham. Mank's gonna be screaming shoot while we play out from the back. The culture needs to change, bro. Thing is, a lot of managers are turning down the job because it's a very risky make or break for their careers. Reports come out that Honus turned us down in the summer. Same with De Zerbi. There are more chances of managers declining Manti than let's be real. He has talked about watching us, but I don't know if he's a fan. Emram didn't get the Liverpool job due to say on transfers. I believe interested to see what his contract terms would be if we were to approach. Yeah, man, I'm telling you right now, we're gonna get another top. Like we're gonna get a promising, like a manager that people are gonna like on paper, right? We're not gonna get some no name. I'm confident about that.
So you think Ten Hag is done at the end of the season?
I think he's done by December. I really do. Like, listen,
Mm.
we won. We 3 points, great. But if let's just say we don't win in Europa League again, like this week, that'd be no wins in 3, and that's literally our route to that's our route to the Champions League. If Jose Mourinho beats us,
Oof,
and then
that'd be horrible.
oh my goodness, you know what? That would because right now, as it currently stands, we are in 20. Like we are in the bracket. We're in the playoff right now, and we're just in it. We're 21st place out of 36. If we lose again, we'll probably be out of the playoff. Like after 3 games, and how many games? I think we play 6 games, right? Or I can't remember how many games we play. In the initial rounds, but yeah, man, we can't afford to lose. Like if we're in a position where we haven't won any of our 3 Europa League games, bro, this guy will be gone quickly. Like,
I don't know. I I'm tired of hoping it will happen. You get what I mean? Where it's like, oh, this is gonna like. I'm like, okay, it's what it is. If Ineos want to sack him, have at it. If they don't want to sack him, it's your problem. At the end of the day, I think that at some point he's gonna go. All right, I think either is in December or end of the season. Ineos should be like, thank you for your services, goodbye, deuces, and we should move forward. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But we need to bring the next person that we bring in needs to be someone that has the conviction to play attacking football, has the ability to communicate clearly, has the ability to bring the fan base together, because I think that's key, but also has the ability to win things and be pragmatic when they need to be.
exactly.
And a good eye for a good player.
Mhm.
People underrate that skill that Ferguson had for a
He could
good eye for a
spot
good player.
He could
Like he
spot
could
good
spot a good player. People will be like, yeah, but we have a director of football, but we have this, we have that. Regardless, man, you still need your coach
to
to
be like, hey, I
have that
like this guy.
ability.
Hey, you need your coach to go to a recruiter and say, hey, I like this guy, I like this guy, I like this guy. What do you guys think? And then you strategize on that. Like I completely agree. I don't think this man's talent ID has been the best in the world. I think
Not very good. Not very good at all.
And we spent a lot of money, man. Tons and tons of money. 616 million to be exact.
Yeah.
Right. So it's crazy.
His talent ID is really poor when you think about it, because it's just, we've just been targeting players that is like
he's worked with or
he's worked with, and that's not very good. I'm sorry. I'm surprised he hasn't looked within the Premier League and it's like, okay, this is who I
Yeah,
want.
yeah,
The
no,
only player we
absolutely,
went for was Mason Mount, and it's like, okay, that doesn't make any sense.
man.
So yeah, we need
Mason
someone
Mount,
that is a lot better, man. Overall,
Mason, Mason,
overall.
Mason Mount is another case where it's just like, oh my God, I can't even believe I gave this guy a shot because he's been absolutely woeful. Like just one of the
Yeah.
worst signings. To date, he's one of our worst signings ever. Like to date, like post Sir Alex, he really is. I mean, there's no two. You can't make two bones about it. He's such a devious guy. It infuriates me. His joy fills me with humiliation. He ripped apart a good squad to insulate himself with his cronies. I'm crying. The squad wasn't
Did you
that great.
see the? I don't want to pick on him, but did you see that interaction he had on like this news events with a couple of journalists, the Sunwriter and stuff, where he just sounds so awkward, man. And listen,
Bro,
I don't want to pick on him, but he
I make
just
it
sounds so awkward,
I
bro.
make it a point to not listen to him. I'm gonna be real. Like I have not watched the press conference in months.
Hey, I haven't either.
Like I'm sorry, I
I
can't
haven't
do it. I
in
can't do it.
years. I haven't sat down and listened to. I
Yeah.
haven't heard him speak
Listen,
in a
and that
press conference in over almost 2 years.
it's unfortunate because it's like I like listening to press conferences, but I just can't. It gets on my nerves so bad. It's like I'm already upset. I don't need to be like even more upset. You know what I mean? Like when a lot of the times when he speaks. Um,
He does lack the high level charisma I think you need to manage
yeah.
Manchester United.
Dan
It's not
James.
about having an accent. It's just the charisma. He
No,
just
it
doesn't
has
have
nothing
it.
to do with an accent, man. It has nothing to do with an accent because we've seen a lot of charismatic managers with thick accents, i.e.,
Yeah.
Claudio Ranieri, Jose Mourinho. Like the list goes on and on. Like we've seen tons of charismatic managers. Dan James had a better campaign at Manchester United than Mount. He absolutely did.
Oh, by far.
By
Not
far.
even close. By far. It's not
Crazy.
even close.
It was actually crazy when you think about it. Dan James actually had a way better career at Manchester United. Like,
Yeah.
not even close.
There's very few people that didn't. Maybe Bebe. That's about it.
Yeah, man.
That's
Seriously.
about it. That's how bad Mount has been.
Ollie was a bad coach, but I never hated hearing his voice. To be fair, I stopped listening to Ollie like maybe I stopped listening to Ollie at some point too because I started getting annoyed. But no, I like Ollie as a human being. So and as a player too, I'm a huge
Oh, I
Ollie
love it. Yeah.
Solskjaer player. Like he's a fantastic player, bro. He honestly, I don't think he got enough game time. Like that's I'll be
Just
real.
injuries
Yeah.
really got on the back of him towards after
Yeah, but he was
'99.
a
But yeah,
proper player, bro. Looking back, I really understand FDJ not answering 10 calls in
that is
the
hilarious.
2022 window. I think a lot of his ex players don't really rate him like that. Now I hear it. Honestly, it's a good point. Like, why would you leave Barcelona? Even though Barcelona was in shambles, by the way, they were trying to
You're
get rid of him.
cooking right now, bro. You're
Yeah, bro.
cooking.
And it's not gonna change, bro. They're probably gonna win the league. Like with it's crazy when you think about it, bro. Hansi Flick. Oh, he was just sitting right there waiting. Just
Do you
sitting.
think he? I like Hansi Flick. Or there's certain managers that I just think like, is this guy for us?
I think
I don't know if he was for us. I think he's a very very good manager. I think
he's
he's
a
a top class manager.
we need a machine. I think he would have been, bro. He's a machine, bro. Like it's that German, it's that German machine like energy that they have. Like they just pile on when they're winning. Like they won 5-1 this past weekend, bro. Like they have a goal differential of like plus 23, 24.
It's crazy.
Like, bro, we don't even have a positive goal differential. Like, and again, it's due to the fact that he didn't even make signings. Barcelona are in a terrible financial position. They just hired a good coach. That's it.
hmm
That's all they did. And like, is he for us? I don't know, but I know for a fact that he's a winner. He's a
He
winner.
is. He is. He
He's the
is.
definition of a winner. Like they're probably there's a chance that, like, I mean, obviously it's gonna be a tight race between them and Madrid, but they're probably gonna be they have a chance to win the league after making one signing. Like,
Yeah,
you know how insane that would be? You know how insane
that
that would
would be. I
be?
mean, based on what Real Madrid have been doing, they just signed Mbappe, and they
Yes.
still want to sign God knows who. So yeah,
Even
man, it's very
signed
interesting.
the best striker. Yeah, Madrid just came off the back of a league title and a Champions League, signed Mbappe, and they're competing with them. Like,
Do you think that obviously he's tactically really really good, but then again Barcelona just have this knack of printing young talents, man. After
bro.
a while, they spawned like I don't even I've lost counts. They've
Bro,
spawned
they
so
spawned so
many.
many young players, bro. The Casano kid, the Bernal kid, I mean, obviously Balde, obviously Kubarsi, like
Jesus.
like they have a lot of young talent. But even then, it's like the right coach has to
Yeah.
get that young talent to work. You know what I mean? Like the right coach has to get that young talent to like do the right things because they're like I don't think these players. I don't think a lot of these players are gonna end up being Barcelona players. I really don't. I don't think
Mm.
Casano. I don't think Casano's gonna end up being some Barcelona stalwart. You know, like a Sergio, even a Sergio Roberto type, where he's just in the squad. You know, for years and years and years, and he control. I don't even know if he's that good. As of right now, or even what's his name? I mean, Kubarsi's a proper young player, but like it's just coaching. It's just proper coaching. I think we have good young players too. I genuinely think if 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 Hansi Flick was in our team, we'd be utilizing more of our young players. Like we really would. Like
Yeah, from the academy we
I
have
think
a
a lot of
couple
our
of
I think a lot of our young players are good and we don't use them. Like the Oyedele kid that was that we let go of the left back. What's his name that we're trying to now everyone's talking about when we bring him back.
Alvaro Fernandez.
Alvaro Fernandez. Like why is it that no we want to buy him back now? He was just here last year. Like why not just play him? You know what I mean? Like I'm not even saying that he has to play week in week out, but like Barcelona, yeah, they have good young talent. But guess what? They play their good. They just play them. They just play them.
It is hard though, I would say, in the Premier League because it takes a very, very, very brave manager to do that. Because even someone like Arteta, he rather play a midfield three of Rice, Partey, and what's his name, instead
Jorginho,
of playing younger
Marino.
Waneri and Moreno. And that tells you, and this is an Arsenal team that is really, really like really good, set in their ways and all that stuff. Like that's why people were saying, why would Chido leave Arsenal? This is why, guys. If you're Waneri and you see that happen, you're an attacking midfielder, and they
Mm-hmm.
need an that's the thing. Like even Pep, like he's tried to integrate more young players into the team.
Mm-hmm.
There's very few managers that has done it. There's maybe only two I can think in the Premier League that have been able to do it. It's Sir Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger. That's
Mm-hmm.
maybe the only two that are like, yeah, these guys have integrated quite a number of young players into the Premier League, their Premier League sides,
Mm-hmm.
and been successful doing it and played really good football doing it. I don't know. I guess maybe I'm a little bit surprised by Arsenal this season with how defensive they've been.
Mm-hmm.
But people need to give more credit to managers that can do that. Because when Wenger was bringing out these young players and playing some amazing football, guys, not even, yeah, later on he wasn't winning Premier Leagues and all that stuff. He was competing against Prime Fergie. But he was playing the football Arsenal used to
It was
play
fantastic. It was fantastic. It was.
was top level. So they're not managers that do that. They're not many. I would like to see more of our young players used, but it takes a
Mm-hmm.
brave man that can do that. It takes a
Absolutely.
really brave man that can do that. They're not many coaches that will go with
Arteta is really a fancy Sean Dyche. That's hilarious.
it.
Imagine Van Gaal right now, never scared to play the youth. I know. Listen, Van Gaal. I don't think our youth. I don't think our youth players were that good back then.
Yeah,
I
wrong
thought
place, wrong time.
those crop of players that he was playing, they were not good players. The Borthwick Jacksons, the Blacketts, the Patty McNairs. Who else am I missing? The Yanazais. Like they weren't of the level. They just weren't of the level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I really don't like. I think this crop of young players we have now, the Mainus, Garnachos, you know, I like that.
Even
I
in
like
the under 18s, you go into the under
yeah,
18s and under 21s, they say there's a
the
number of players there.
Dan Gores of
Um,
the world. You know,
People been talking about this Fitzgerald guy. They've been talking about there's a few names. There's this young 15-year-old center back that's like 6'5".
yeah,
We're
like
bringing
you have
through
to
quite a
trust.
number of players.
Yeah,
So we'll see. The next coach you pick is massive for the next 10 plus years, man, because we have a number of young players in that team. Well, Amas, we even talked about him this season.
yeah.
Supposedly
Why?
very
What happened? Why is he
promising.
not playing?
Shea Lacey is another one that people talk about a lot.
Yeah. Why is this Amos kid or Amos or whatever he's
Well,
why isn't he playing left back? Like, why
yeah,
isn't he getting little
uh,
spot minutes here and there?
I don't know. They're saying that, at least from what I read, I can't remember if it's just Laurie Whitfield that said it, but they development wise, they're not comfortable enough with his physical development.
I hate.
That's all. That's all I have seen
I
in
hear
regards to
that.
that.
I hear that, but it's like, come on, bro. We like this is if you're not gonna play him, then he's never gonna play. Like if he's not gonna play now, he will never play. We don't have a left back. You know what I mean? I'm just being real. Yeah, I remember James Wilson too, man. Jack Fletcher, Gore. Yeah, I like Dan Gore, man. I like Dan Gore. I think he should have been. He's just tiny. That's it. That's the issue. Um, we have decent midfielders in the academy. Too small. Listen, it's gonna be. Oh yeah, Toby Collier. How could I forget about Toby Collier? That's another good player. Like,
Ten Hag must want very specific things, man, in training.
yeah, what happened? I'm about to say, you know what's crazy? I completely forgot about Toby Collier. Like,
Yeah, he's still there.
what happened to him? Like,
He's
why?
always on the bench. He's
I
always on
know.
the bench.
Why is he not
He just
playing?
never comes on.
Why is he not playing, bro? Yeah,
I
the
don't know.
Sekou Kone kid. This, bro. We have talent, bro. And you know what the thing is for me is like when we're as bad as we've been, I would almost rather just say play the kids, bro. Just play the kids. You know what I
There
mean?
has to be a plan to playing the
Of
kids, though.
course,
That's the only
of
thing.
course, of course. I agree. There has to be a plan. You don't want to just throw them to the wolves or whatever the case may
Yeah.
be, but like just give them little itty bitty cameos here and there. I'm not mad at it. He played
What do you
left
think
back.
about
Yeah, I
the
don't
the?
remember that.
You were gonna say we were gonna talk about the Xerxes thing. What do you think
Oh
about it?
yes, great. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of people say I saw some crazy takes.
I saw some
I
crazy
saw some
things.
crazy takes. Is Xerxes better than McTominay? I saw that one this past
Oh
weekend.
man.
I was like, wow, this is quick. They said this. I heard that. Shout out to what is it? United View TV, man. Shout out to United View TV. I saw the McTominay versus Xerxes debate. Listen, I'll let you go on. I'll let you start with this, bro. What are your thoughts on this whole Xerxes thing? Because I can already tell he's gonna be an easy scapegoat
Listen,
for this team.
I can't believe we're writing off another player already. This is how I felt when Hoyland last season, and I was like, listen, guys, it's the Premier League. People need time to adjust and get used to the game and figure it out themselves. We've seen some promising things from Xerxes early, just like we saw some promising things from Hoyland early. But whatever it is, whether the poor form of the team, lack of consistent play on the pitch from players and the coach, there's all sorts of things that can knock a player out of their rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
He is not a bum. You can't come out and tell me technically Xerxes trash. You
No.
can't say that. So is it that what don't you like about him? Is it that he's not scoring enough? Okay, fair enough. Or is it that he just doesn't look as he's not as passionate as Hoyland or like Garnacho, where they walk a lot. That's fine. Every player is different. He's a lot more like Berbatov. I've heard. Listen, by the time we signed Berbatov, people don't realize he was closer to his 30s.
Mm-hmm.
He was very experienced in the Premier League. He scored a lot of goals. So when he comes to Manchester United, it's a lot more different.
Mm-hmm.
But I still heard these same complaints about Berbatov.
Oh,
People were like, he's too languid. We don't like the way he
I used to love
moves.
Berbatov,
He
bro.
doesn't press. Like Manchester United fans like a certain kind of player.
Yeah, they like passion merchants. I mean, it's really what it is. Like he's
So
not a passion merchant. You know what I mean? He's not running around like Delict. When Delict, like,
as a warrior, man.
just Delict is just his head's bleeding everywhere. He's trying to get back on the pitch. People love that. People just love it's like people just love warriors. You know what I mean? That's why people love Martinez, right? Because he's just a warrior. He's just angry.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
I think we need that. We need both. We need both.
100%. I have nothing wrong with people who are passionate about players who are trying to get stuck in all that. I have no qualms with that whatsoever. You know what I mean? But don't start giving other players shit because they're not. It's the same thing they used to do with Martial, bro. I'm like, bro, I don't care if he's smiling or not. I don't care if he's running around like he's not running around like a headless chicken, bro. I do not care. He's a proper player. And I think, honestly, to your point, and I got to give you credit for this. I got to give you a lot of credit for this. The idea of playing Hoyland and Xerxes together, like, let's see it.
This just never happened.
It's like, let's see it. Let's see
it's
it.
like, can we just see it one time? Then we can, okay, this is not going to work.
No, facts. I'm not mad at it. Like, play Xerxes as a 10, right? He's really not a number 9. Even Martial, yes, he was a link player, but Martial in his prime, before all the injuries took him, proper number 9, like proper number 9. I don't know if Xerxes will ever be that good. I'll be honest with you, but if we can get anything similar, I'm happy. You know what I mean? I just don't know if Xerxes really
No, I don't
they say,
know.
oh, all the new 9.5, whatever the case may be, but I don't know. I don't know,
To
man.
me, Xerxes strikes me as the kind of player that needs a lot of like love from the
Mm,
coach.
mm,
I don't know if Ten Hag is that guy.
no.
Like, I don't know if Ten Hag is that guy. Like some players, they have that fire in their belly. They go out on the pitch, and you're gonna see it. They just have it. Some
Right.
players don't,
They
and
just don't
there's
have
you have to give it to them. They
right.
have the ability. They have everything. Football almost comes very easily to them.
Yeah.
So you need to challenge them. You need to like this is coaching for me with Xerxes. It's a coaching issue.
Mm,
People are not going to understand. It's almost for a completely different reason to Hoyland's last season, where I was like, it's a coaching issue, but for almost a different situation
right,
altogether.
right,
So
right.
both are coaching issues. It's down to the coach to figure out his players and how to get them on side to play in the
Mm-hmm,
best way possible for the team.
mm-hmm,
So I don't know how Ten Hag is going to navigate that. That might be one of the reasons why he ends up losing his job, because two of the key signings this season,
mm-hmm.
Ugarte and Xerxes, eh, he hasn't really done the best with them so far. So
Right,
let's
right.
see.
No, yeah, it's it's gonna be interesting. I genuinely think Xerxes is a proper player. I just think that it's gonna be like Sancho. It's gonna be. It can be. I fear it could be easy for him to kind of just fade, right? Where it's like,
Hopefully not. Hopefully
I
not.
hope not.
Hopefully
I
not.
hope not. Because I see a player in there. I really see a technically gifted player in Josh Xerxes. You know what I mean? I just think he needs a bit more time, because I don't think he'll ever be a prolific goal scorer. I don't see that in his future, but I do see someone who makes the team better, who can
Yeah.
improve the team, who can do things that we're just not get we we won't get from a Hoyland, which is okay, because Hoyland's a different profile of player. But it's unfortunate. I just don't think we'll ever see, at least under this manager, I just don't see us playing with those two at any point. But guys, don't kill this Xerxes guy, man. Blood, guts, and passion. That's what this fan base rates on ability or quality. That's why we're stuck where we are. Player FC versus Player FC all over again with Hoyland and Xerxes. I hate it. Xerxes also needs a system, and a lot of our football is just chaos, 100%. I see now what Chelsea meant by perception of Jackson and Hoyland by media last season. I see it with Xerxes. No, I feel it, man. I feel it. Listen, I think both of these players have the ability. I think Hoyland has the ability to be that poacher, be that running behind type of striker. Like he's not a lost cause, even though I have been critical. And
He
Xerxes
just
not a
has a
lost
lot
cause.
to his game. He just like Hoyland has so much more to his game than I think we've seen. He can drive at people. He has the strength to carry the ball. His feet is actually not as bad as people think, and he can score like you guys saw. That finish was brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a lot more we can see from Hoyland, and I think there's a lot more we can see from Xerxes. We have two young
Absolutely.
strikers, guys.
It's not a
We have
bad
two young
thing.
strikers.
Not a bad
It's not a
thing.
bad thing.
No, absolutely, man. I know we're coming up on the hour, man. What a great first stream back after a while, man. It's been a minute. I needed to, honestly, guys, I apologize. I was gone for like almost 12 days, something like that, something crazy like that. But I needed it. I'm telling you right now, Man United was depressing me. But the good news is
Yeah.
there's so much sports that are back. I'm off the whole week, so I'm going to be doing Champions League content that I can never do normally. So be on the lookout for watch alongs all tomorrow and the next day, and then Thursday as well. We're going to do Fenerbahce, the Mourinho comeback. Lord, honestly, that
Are
game,
you dreading that game? You see, like I feel like people are dreading that
I'm
game.
properly dreading that game. Fred and Amrabat. Oh no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That just sounds like war. It just sounds like war. And I'm like, are these players ready for that? Like
It's gonna be war. It's gonna be a very.
Mourinho.
Listen, I have a certain love for Jose Mourinho that some people might not find. Um,
I like Mourinho.
Even though
Listen,
I really hated him
I hated him when he was here,
towards his end, yeah, but
but
he was such a character. So it's gonna be interesting. Jose always seems to pull some things out of his hat in
mhm.
certain games, and we'll see what Ten Hag can do to counter it.
Yeah, no,
So I don't know.
yeah, man. Outside of Mourinho's time with us, brother, he's
Yo, that Inter Milan Jose, bro. Oh,
he's box office. He's just box. Even now, he's box office. Like, I might need to watch his press conference leading into this match because I'm just he's
gonna say some things. He's gonna say something.
He's going to say
something.
Absolutely, I
He's gonna
can't
be
wait.
like, Ten Hag. Certain managers always have to talk about winning trophies.
Mm-hmm.
But I won 3 Premier Leagues. He's gonna say something that's just gonna be like, just wind him up.
All the managers in the Premier League, 2, me, 3. Or what was it? 1. I can't even remember what he said. It was just hilarious. He's a character, man. He's a character. Shout out to everyone in the comments too. We're gonna do shout outs real soon. Wizards still suck. Hey man, listen. I don't even. That's another thing I don't even want to think about. The season's starting tomorrow, man.
I don't know how you guys do it, man. I cannot. Like, I only have one sport I watch.
I know,
and
man.
It's soccer. It's football. This is all I consume. I can't.
Basketball is even worse than Manchester United. Trust me, man. Because my team is literally one of the worst franchises in America. like in the country. Like I'm talking about
that would end me, man. That would end me.
It's tough, man. We're gonna beat Fenerbahce, man. Calm down. Why? How can you say that so confidently? How can you say that so confidently?
Even though I think it'll be a hard game, I think we'll win.
Away?
Even though I think it's going to be really hard, right? But it's one of those games where Bruno maybe scores like a penalty or something like that.
Look at the Porto matchup. I don't
know. Even then, we were surprised we went 2-0 up in the lead.
And then they gave it back.
You know, and we didn't lose even with 10 men in a game where we were like, this manager has a way of surviving. Like, even in a game where it's like he's gonna get sacked, we didn't lose with 10 men. Away to Porto. So
shout out Noah Theodros, man. Listen, I'm nervous.
Yeah, Bruno won't play against Fenerbahce. You're right.
Oh, interesting.
So that's
we might
interesting.
Have some hope here. We might have some hope here. Bruno won't play against Fenerbahce because yeah, man, this is great. This is great. I'm thrilled. I'm honestly so thrilled. This is gonna be great.
That may work in our favor.
I wonder who he'll play. I mean, listen, because he'll probably know what he'll do now. He'll probably play Eriksen, Ugarte, and Casemiro.
Which should be what we go to away from home.
Unless Manu is I don't know.
No, I think he's still injured. Out. He's out for 4 weeks.
So if it's Eriksen, Ugarte, and Casemiro, I'm a happy man. I'll let you know right now. That's the type of war we need. We need Casemiro and Ugarte versus Fred and Amrabat. We need just crazy tackles and just anything, man.
I know the clip makers will be following Ugarte every move.
Oh yeah.
You know, if Fred gets by him once, you know the nasty agenda people are gonna have on Twitter.
Yeah. Listen, I hope Ugarte can find his feet.
I need a big performance from him, man.
He hasn't had that yet. He hasn't had that moment yet. So we bought a lead to Porto. Jose about to park 3 buses after they take a lead. Also, knowing we don't score goals, he's licking his lips. Tadic, Kostic, Szymanski, Dzeko, and this year, it's not a joke thing, man.
We need to play Evans and De Ligt because what's his name again? Nasiri? He's the striker, right?
Yeah.
And Dzeko, they're very good in the air.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All those players have given United trouble in the past. A Thursday without Bruno, then a Friday World Series, followed by EPL weekend. I'm eating good. Yeah, shout out to you, man. I'm not a big baseball fan, but no, the World Series is always a good event. I remember ending this year. Absolutely, I remember him. I remember we were talking about Michael. Absolutely, but we're gonna wrap up, man. Guys, I'm gonna be on Staffy's channel. I'm gonna be on Staffy's channel at 7. Okay. So guys, just make sure to be on the lookout. I'm gonna be making my debut on American Waffle. So yeah, man. Tune into that. I'll be back at 7. It's gonna be fun. But let me do shout outs real quick. Shout out Michael Bowl, man. I've never seen you in the chat, man. So much love to you. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Shout out Uthman. Shout out JJ. Shout out Noah Theodros. Shout out Tebsta. Shout out. I hope I don't miss anybody. Shout out Andrew. Nalemadim. Shout out. Man, we had a bunch of comments, man. Shout out Soma Mishra. Shout out. Who else am I missing here? Who else am I missing here? I hope I'm not missing anybody, man. Shout out Luke Craftman. Shout out Rick Avelli. Shout out Sunshine. Shout out MUFC Cooling. Shout out Staffy TV. Shout out obviously Elite Baller, man. Yeah, it's been a great stream, man. I appreciate everyone who's locked in. Guys, tomorrow, watch alongs galore, man. Watch alongs galore. Brian, plug yourself. Oh, also make sure to follow Brian. All of Brian's information is in the description. So make sure to check him out on Twitter. He's doing amazing things on Twitter as always, being a Twitter legend. He is a Man United Twitter legend. Honestly,
am I a Man United Twitter legend?
You're low key becoming a Man United Twitter legend. I have to give credit where it's due. And then obviously you see the lovely backdrop here with the fragrances, man. Talk to everyone about Professor Fragrance real quick, Brian.
Yeah, so if you guys like, men's content, where you dress, the way you want to smell, all that kind of stuff, I have a lot of fragrances. And I make fragrance content on TikTok for the most part. So if you want recommendations, if you if you want to talk about fragrances and stuff, like, this is what I do. This is what I do when I'm not talking about Manchester United. So I have a couple of things coming up that I think you guys might find interesting. So follow me on TikTok.
Yep, and his TikTok information is in the description. So everyone, do me a favor right now. Go just open the comment section real quick. Click on TikTok, click on Twitter, and make sure to follow Brian and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Listen, we have a goal of 1,000 subs before the end of the year. We're about a month and a half away with a couple hundred subscribers to go. So let's see if we can get it done, man. Let's see if we can
we're getting closer, man.
Yeah, we're getting closer, man. So let's get to 1,000 before the end of the year. I think honestly, I'm really appreciative of you guys because I was gone for a bit and you guys still came and showed love in the chat today, which shows that you guys really believe in what we're doing here. So appreciate y'all, man. We're going to keep grinding, going to keep making content. Make sure to hit the like button, everybody. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, and we will talk real soon, okay? Deuces, people.